The debate continuing today regarding the HALT Act, which limits the time an inmate can spend in segregated confinement. But now the question is if it's actually been implemented at all. CBS 6's Tom Eschen sat down with New York's Inspector General today, who says there have been major barriers to actually seeing what the HALT Act does.
Tom, you may be familiar with the quote often attributed to Dostoevsky that you can judge the quality of a society by the conditions of its prisons. And if that's the case, then we are epically failing.
Inspector General Lucy Ling says she's visited all of New York State correctional facilities, and her office's August 2024 report found issues in the first 2 years of HALT's implementation, saying outdated systems made it difficult to know how the law was being administered.
People who are in segregated housing units are given opportunities to be out of their cell for at least 4 hours a day, and it was difficult to judge based on paper logbooks whether that was being done at scale.
The report provides samples of this documentation, the IG saying this handwritten account doesn't reveal if each person in that group was offered programming or recreation, who accepted or refused it, and if accepted, the length of time spent out of cell.
Could you put a percentage on how much it's been implemented at this point?
If I could put a percentage on it, I think that we wouldn't need to continue assessing it, unfortunately. But there are tremendous needs for technological overhaul to enable us to provide the oversight that we're required to provide.
Just last week, Senator Julia Salazar, who is the sponsor of the HALT Act on the Senate side, said that they need full implementation of the HALT Act for it to be effective and to make prisons safer. Now the Inspector General is saying that they need full funding to be able to do that.
But some say it's maybe not just the funding, but the will to implement.
And the problem has started from its inception. It was never implemented properly, and there was always a lot of pushback from correction staff and even leadership, unfortunately.
Was there any hesitancy that you had found that they just didn't want to do it, or they just didn't comply?
There were structural impediments, including the facilities and limitations that all of the folks who are administering the system were subject to.
Reporting from the Capitol, Tom Eschen, CBS 6 News.
Tom will have more tonight at 10 and 11 on what Inspector Lang found in regards to workers' compensation for DOC's employees. The full report available at cbs6albany.com.